Hello everyone, welcome to the lessons. Today we are going to learn about unlocking the exponent, that is a complete guide to logarithm. So this video is a detailed video about the logarithms, because in this video we are going to learn everything. So before starting this video, I'm just wanna tell about what we are going to read in this video. In the first 4 to 5 minutes, we will be covering the logarithm in the base 10. So this is the very basic principle in covering the logarithm, because always remember that logarithm default base is 10. So we will just get into here, and once we get a good grip on understanding the logarithm in base 10, then we are going to the logarithm in the base a. Base a means it could be anything, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So once we get to know about 1 and 2, then we will read about laws of algorithm. Basically there are the three laws of algorithm. In the lecture you will understand those three laws in very much detail. And once you know about base 10, base a, and the laws of logarithm, then we will get into the natural logarithm. So this is also a very important concept, because in your problems you could see the logarithm of base 10, logarithm of base a, and also you see the logarithm in natural form, right? So when you get the good grip and the good basics of logarithm, then we will deep dive into the logarithmic equations. So this is very much handy in solving the problem. And then once we get to know all this concept, then our next topic will be the change of base rule. That means if we have a log of 10, how do you change into the log of a? Or if you have a log of a, how do you gonna change into the log of 10, right? So that we'll cover in the sixth topic, that is the change of base rule. When you get to know everything, then we will read about the solving the exponential equations using the logarithm. So in real life you don't see every problem in the logarithm, right? But the beauty of logarithm is you can take anything into the log equation. So that is very much handy while dealing with the problem. And at the last but not the least, we will go into the log functions. That is, how do you make the log functions, or how do you make it simplify those functions. So these are the 8 topics that I am covering. And while covering these all 8 topics, I will be solving you the number of examples, maybe more than 1,000 examples that we are going to solve over here. So this will be a long video, so that I can teach you everything of log. Once you get into this video, you don't need to look at any references, because this video is very much detailed about the log, right? So okay, so that is the reason why I written interactive lecture blueprint, right? So this is the unlocking the exponents, that is a complete guide to the logarithm. Okay, let's deep dive into the logarithm. So before starting the lecture, I want to give you something. I want to ask you something about the log. That is, so let me give you a problem, okay? Suppose in a plentiful of springtime, in a pond, so, okay, there are 1,000 frogs, right? There are 1,000 frog. Is that clear? So the condition is, all the biological condition is met, so that in every week, number of frogs get double. Frog gets double. You understood? That means in first week, if it was 1,000, then in the second week it would be 2,000, and in the third week it will be 4,000, and in the fourth week it will be 8,000, so on and so on. Now if someone asks you at what time the number of frogs will be 20,000, okay, at what time? Also, next question could be, at 8th week, or let's suppose at 90th week, how much will be the population of that frog. So at first few weeks it seems easier, right? Because week 1000, week 2 2000, so this goes and goes. But finding the population at 90 week is so tough. Also finding the 20,000 population is tough. Do you know how? Because at 5th it will be 16,000, at 6th it will be 32,000. See, you don't see any 20,000. So what you know is 20,000 lies in between this 5 and 6 week, right? So you must get a functions, you must get an equations, right? So this is how what we are going to solve in this lecture. But this is just the starting point of the lecture. Before solving these questions directly, I would like to teach you all those 8 concepts, and at last we will solve this one too. So don't worry, this is one of the best easiest problem that we gonna see. So in the lecture that I give you the concept of the frog, but here that same question is for mice, and then we can develop the equation with respect to time, and then we can find anything, right? But right now this feels difficult because we haven't not covered each and every concept regarding it. But after we learn these 8 topics, this chapter, these questions becomes very much easy, believe me. Okay, now let's go into the first topic, logarithmic in base 10. Logarithm in base 10 means, okay, suppose if you have log 1000, logarithm with base 10 means base is 10, how much will be the answer? Answer is, when 10 is raised to the power 3, then it gives 10,000, right? When 10 is raised to the power 3, it gives 1000. Is it clear? Okay. So log 100 means when this 10 is raised to the power 2, we give 100. Right? Okay. Log, now let's go into the very, 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 very big number. When this 10 is raised to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then then we will get this number. It's a very easy concept. Look at here. When 10 is raised to the power 3, we get 1000. Right? When 10 is raised to the power 2, we get 100. When 10 is raised to the power 5, we get 1000. That means what I can say is 10 to the power 3 is our, right? That means 10 to the power, that means log anything 1000 is 3, right? That is, this number let us suppose y, and this number let us suppose x. Y is 10 to the power x, isn't it? Okay, let's erase this because this is going to be difficult, but not difficult. So that means log 10 to the power 100 is 2, right? This means when 10 is raised to the power 2, that is 100, right? This question and equation and these equations both are same. That means if I write in general, when 10 is raised to the power x, it gives us y. So how do I write this in equations, in log equations? Log 10 to the power y is equals to x. That is, when 10 is raised to the power x, it gives me y. As simple as that. So whenever you see these equations or you see these equations, the both equations are same. This means log 10y means when 10 is raised to the power x, it gives us the answer, that is y. Clear? So the translation engine, that is, these both are same. Now is it clear? Okay. Now let's deep dive more into this concept. What about log 0.001? That means when I raise the 10, 1 to 3, negative 3, that is 0.001. So the answer is negative 3. Right? Isn't it? So is it something that you are getting? That is negative 3. Okay. Oh, and there is a next concept. If look in these questions, there is no base written, right? If no base is indicated, we assume it means base 10. So log 1000 means log 10 to the base 10 of 1000. So this is just 3. 3. Very easy. Similarly, this is 10 how much to the power 0.01? That is minus 2. Since 0.01 means 10 to the power minus 2, right? So this is very easy, right? Yes, now we finished learning logarithm in base 10. Now let us practice more. Let us solve more question, okay? In this, and then you will be much more clear. We finished our first concept, that is, okay, now let's go into more. What is the log 4 to the power 100? 10. That means 10, how, make it easy. 10, this means 1 by 4, right? So answer is 1 by 4. If 10 is directly raised to some power, this power is answer, right? What I can write is log 10 to the power x is equals to x, because these things are same, right? Okay, now let's do one more question. Now it is easy if I just give you log 100, right? Log 1000. But in real life you don't get only this. Sometimes you get difficult question as well. Let me show you how we're gonna. So what will you do if you saw log 34? How do you solve it? Can you tell me, if I raise 10 to the power 1.53, then only I get 34. So the answer is 1.53. Right? So when you type into your calculator log 34, you will get that 1.53. But you can't do these calculations by hand. You need to use calculator at this point, because you just type log and type 34, you get 1.53. But the thing is, you need to understand how this 1.53 came. 1.53 came that when 10 is raised to the power 1.53, it gives you 34. That is the only essence that I want to teach over here. Okay, now let's go more deep into it. This is a very deep lecture. So logarithms allows us to write logarithm allows us to write, sorry for this pen, us to write any number in a power of 10. Any number in power of 10, right? So that means x is equals to 10 log x. Okay, now this is getting difficult. Now let me make this also clear. we see that log 10 to the power, what happened, okay, log 10 to the power x was x, right? Was this clear? Isn't it clear? So what I can write is, if there beside the 10, if there is anything, we can also keep these things in power. That means 10, this log also goes in power. 10 log x is equals to x. Sometimes this equation is also same. Okay, but x must be greater than 0. Okay, this is the condition. So now let us solve more questions so that you will understand this concept as well. Suppose if the question is 8, how do you write these equations in the power 10? 8 means, this means 10 log to the power 8, right? Because if I going to write this in power 10, how do I write this? That is log 8. So by calculator you solve the log 8, then you get something like 0.9. That means if I raise 10 to the power 0.9, that is 8. Now you understood the question, right? So if I give you 8, that is how much power of x? So that these questions will give you the 8. So this is how you solve it. So this question, so that is that you can solve by doing 10 log to the power x. Suppose if someone says you, can you write 7 by, so how much power of 10 will give you 7? At that condition, what you do is 10 log to the power 7. So how much this will give? That will be the answer. I think this also easy, right? Now okay, let us solve more. Okay, what about 800? Simple. 10 log 800. Just write in calculator how much will be log 800, and then you will get. So that is, if you write in calculator, what you get? You get log 800 as 2.90. That is, when you raise log to the 2.9031, you will get 800. Okay, now let's go for 0.08. How we write? 10 log to the power 0.08. Log 0.08 is minus 1.096. Minus 1.096. So at this time you will get, when 10 is raised to the power minus 1.096, you will get this answer. Is it clear up to here? Okay. So I think we solved everything. So now let us do revision for this one. First we learn that when 10 is raised to the power x, it gives us answer, right? That means this and this, log 10y is equals to x. Means if someone says log 100, that means when 10 is raised to the power 3, then that the answer is 3. Similarly, and then we learn that if I have to write rush, then it is just, I can write 10 to the power log x. This and this are same. These are the only two concepts that we learn, and in this coming video we will go into the generalizing the engine. That is, we will go to the second point, logarithm in base.